Hello everybody, welcome to Marketing Analytics course. This is Dr. Shagata Chatterjee from VGSOM IIT Kharagpur who is taking this course for you. We are still in week 5 and we are discussing about pricing. So, in this particular session, it will still be a small session where we will discuss about markdown pricing and dynamic pricing. Markdown pricing is basically where you decide at a certain period of time you will give lower price, and you find out that on those period of time there are people who are more price sensitive will come, and there are certain other period of time when people who are high not so much price sensitive will come. For example, let us say for a particular time period in a particular week in a month, for a particular week in a month or particular day in a week, certain retail companies give certain kind of discounts. For example, Big Bazaar has Wednesday offs. So, that is one I would say example of sales where they are actually trying to say that okay, those who are price sensitive and those I will try to attract them at a certain day, and those who are not so much price sensitive we will try to attract in some other day. For example, it can be assumed that people who are working and people who are very busy on weekdays might be less price sensitive. So, I will attract them in a certain other day, and then some other days I will attract people who are not working or less price sensitive, look for opportunities and etc. There can be monthly variations as well. For example, in a certain month which is let us say before puja, before Diwali, puja holidays or festive season or after festive season. People who buy before festive season are generally I would say price less conscious. People who are buying after Diwali seasons might little bit price conscious and etc. So, depending on situations I will do that. So, for example, let us say we are talking about selling of 400 swimsuits and we have to sell it in 3 months we have decided. Now, in 1 month which is summer and or let us say you can even think about not even month, you can think about probably quarter 1, 2, 3 and if the data is permitted quarter 4 also. Now, in the summer quarter the price will be people will be less price sensitive, people will actually buy swimsuits because they would like to swim. And then there are certain other types. So, probably in the winter I would say this swimming pools will be closed in certain, for example, in some institutes in the whole winter the swimming pools remains closed, or in certain other places also, and they do not have probably the heater. In that case there is a problem that if you try to, and people also do not like to swim in many people do not like to swim in winter, or people will try to prefer swim more in summer than winter. Now, if I have to sell these 400 swimsuits and these are the 3 months or 3 quarters, and this is the intercept and this is the slope, that means the demand demand is equal to that intercept into slope into price. So, D is equal to A plus BP, that A is 400 and B is whatever is given here. So, these 3 values are random values written first, and these are the 3 time periods when there are 3 different type of people of different I would say of different price sensitivity will come. So, these guys are more price sensitive minus 1.8 and these guys are less price sensitive minus 1.2. So, people who are less price sensitive will come during the summer season, and off summer season these people will come. Now, these are then this is the demand and this is the revenue, the same formula, and the total revenue is summation of this. Now, I am selling by doing this pricing 300, 200 and 200 I am selling 180, my available is 400. So, what do? I go to data solver, I say that maximize this total revenue by changing the 3 prices here which is E8 to G8, where I8 should be equal to 400, exactly equal to 400. So, I want to sell everything, I do not want to keep anything back. So, I8 is exactly equal to 400 and I try to solve this. So, when I solve this it gives me some solution. Now, this is also not possible, practical situation is that these 3 things are also not possible. So, I will again change it a little bit 300, 200, let us say 200 and 180, and I will put up another this thing that these 3 values has to be integer, otherwise it is not possible. So, Okay. So, integer constant self. Okay. So, to make this value integer, these three values can be integer, that is okay. So, okay. So, now if I try to solve, it is taking some time. I will stop it once and I will go to solver once more and I will use evolutionary method, and it is saying evolutionary method means I have to give the upper limit and lower limit. So, the lower limit of these guys will be 0 and upper limit of these guys is, let us say, around how much, $400, okay, 4 or 500. Okay, solve. So, now it is running pretty fast and it is giving me certain 73,000. See, I have already got more than 40,000, which is 73,000, and I can stop it in between as usual. I can stop it here. I can say that okay, this is what I am getting, slightly higher than 400. So, I will continue a little bit more to see that if the prices are coming down, and that is how I will do. So, 214 I can change it to 213 or something like that, which is closest to the value that is there, and I can find out the results. So, this is something is a possibility. This is also a possibility which we try to do. Now, price is actually okay. So, this is the solution that I got. This is 402, which is also not possible. This one is also not possible. So, I have to do something to make sure that these guys are integers. So, I have to make, so these guys are not integers in the current form. We have to take care of that when we run the regression. So, when we run the optimization. So, all I am trying to say here is this is one type of pricing. One thing that you notice clearly is that the slope goes up 1.2, 1.5, 1.8. The prices is also coming down 213, 178 and 154. So, I know that the last guy is more price sensitive and that is why I am charging it much lesser than this, but I am trying to take care of all the. So, initially we start with the higher price and slowly we go to the lower price. It is always like that. In the previous case when there was skimming, we gave the same result. When it was for, let us say, for markdown pricing, we are also getting the same result. So, initially you will charge high and then slowly you come to low. Now, next thing is how many. So, this particular question is talking about that it is not only, so this constraint is not there. Let us say this 400 constraint is not there and I am trying to solve this. So, that everything remains same. Let us say this 400 and 1.2, 1.5, 1.8 everything remains same, but this constraint is not there. So, I want to try to solve by maximizing this by changing E8 to G8. I will try to solve it and it is giving me a result which is 33,000. Okay, so there is a cost involved here which has not been taken here. The cost is $100 per production. So, now I am getting around 33,000. So, this is something which is also important. Then what is the total revenue? If by chance the cost was 0, then what would have been the total revenue in this particular case? Then the total revenue would have been 82,000. So, here it was 73,000, it was 82,000. So, I have taken care of the cost part also in this particular problem. So, oftentimes we call it dynamic pricing because you are changing the price based on the demand, based on the cost, based on the demand slope, how the slope of the curve, the price sensitivity of the curve is also changing, your prices are also changing. But still one thing which is important to focus on is that the price is still dropping. So, 166 to 133 to 111. And another important thing that is worth mentioning is, see, the price is much higher here 213, where when you have by chance if you do not have any kind of, I would say, price in the capacity constraint, you can charge much lower because you can actually sell 600 instead of 400 total and still achieve your success. So, that is also one type of pricing where we call it as dynamic pricing. The previous one is markdown pricing, the second one is dynamic pricing, which is also heavily used in the context of products rather than services, and we use that in the market. So, we will talk about other type of pricing like bundling and sales promotions in the next video, and thank you for being with me. See you in the next video.